Hi there bag makers, it's Diane from Spencer Ogg Sewing Patterns, bobbing on really briefly today, just because I have had a bounty of messages this week, don't know why this week, about zip tails versus zip tabs and different finishes for zip ends. So just wanted to jump on and explain why we use the different finishing methods for different situations. So I've just gathered together a few of my own patterns here just to show you the different methods you can use to finish zip ends as such. You can put tabs on them on both ends. You can have an open end to one side. You could run the zip straight into the side seam, finish it that way. That's a very quick method. That's the Bummety Bum bag. That's a free tutorial on my YouTube channel. This is the Starlight wallet, where you can run the zip into the side seams, but you can add tabs on both sides to make it a little bit tidier. That one does have a tab on one end of the zip and an open end on that side. You can box the top corners of a bag and run the zip into those seams. That's the volunteer pack. Again, that's a free tutorial on my YouTube channel. And then we'll have a look at tails themselves. So this is the Starburn crossbody. So this has an open end of the zip to one side, and to the other side we've got a tail. And what that does is when we open the bag, it means we can open it fully. There's nothing impeding access to the bag, so we can get a large purse in there, you can get your hand in there, there's nothing constricting your access. If you actually put a tab on both sides of that, you can see how much it then constricts your access and putting your hand in, or anything you want to put in there. So that open end and that tail, they also allow us to add strap carriers into the side seam at the top of the bag. So I'll show you again in a minute on another bag, but the size of that zip opening is the same on the Starburn as the zip opening on the Forget It Not bag virtually. So just to show you the difference in adding a zip tail, you can see that the Forget It Not, I've got the open end on one side to allow us lots of access, and there's a tab on the other side to keep it pretty. But with the Starburn, I wanted a super wide access. So by adding the tail, although it's virtually the same width of opening, see how much more that bag will open than this bag. So this is great because this gives you access and it looks fun. Aesthetically, it's pleasing. This one, still aesthetically pleasing, but gives us that massive access to get in there. Adding the tabs is going to restrict our access. So we can add one or we can add two, and it's totally personal choice. You can add tabs to any bag you want, you can add tails to any bag you want. The construction may be slightly different, and you may not be able to add your carriers into the side seams at the top if you add tabs, but you can add them on afterwards. So most are interchangeable. So just to show you, again, this is the double clutch crossbody. So we've got two zips on that one. Open those so you can see it's got a nice wide opening because it's a nice wide bag, but the tabs actually stop the zip from opening fully. Just to show you on a bigger bag, which is probably the most recent, which is probably why I've got so many questions this week actually. This is the Tip Top tote. So this has a nice wide top opening. So let's open that and have a look at it. What have I got in there? The things I do to make a bag stand up. That's a cushion. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so that is a Tip Top tote, and you can see that has a really lovely wide access, and that is to allow you to get all your clothes in, your computer in, your laptop if you've got one. It's really helpful. If we put tabs on both ends and you've got, I don't know, a 17-inch laptop, all of a sudden you might not be able to drop it in. So that would be your opening if you had tabs on it. So it's a huge difference. So that is why we choose to add tails onto a zip. So as I say, the choice is totally up to you. You can add tails onto both sides of your zips when you make them, but be aware that you can't always work your strap carriers in the same way, because you need that opening on both ends to be able to put the strap carrier into the seam, the side seam at the top. You would need to put those on afterwards either by riveting them on, or you could choose a different method and sort of attach one side to the front of the bag and one to the back of the bag, but you would need to choose a different method. So I hope that explains a little bit more about why sometimes we use zip tails and sometimes we use zip tabs, we open ends of zips, etc. If you do have any more questions about zip finishes, just drop a question in the comments below.